Have you ever been to a conference, felt super inspired, have a bunch of questions you want to ask and things you want to learn more about, but then completely blank when it comes to the Q&A? You want to ask something meaningful, but nothing comes out. Let's fix that. Hi, I'm Nicholas Belvo, and this is part of a series where we explore the power of asking better questions. Whether it's for your career, relationships, or personal growth, my goal is to help you think sharper, communicate more effectively, and navigate life with more intention. If that sounds interesting, hit that subscribe button to follow along, and let's get into today's video. Recently, I found myself in 3 separate Q&A situations where I wanted to ask a question and then didn't. One was at a talk with an innovation expert, a topic I'm super familiar with. Another was a film premiere by a fellow speaker that was super interesting and passionate, where he was sharing his personal story. And again, I couldn't ask a question. And then most recently, a good friend of mine was presenting her doctoral thesis, a presentation on sexuality in northern communities. Still, even though she's my good friend, nothing came out. Each time I genuinely wanted to ask a question. I was very curious, but always kept drawing a blank when it came to the Q&A. I felt like I had the making of a question in the back of my mind, but my tongue was tied. Nothing would come out. For me, this was super frustrating, and if this has ever happened to you, I'm sure it's as frustrating. Especially when you want to offer the speaker a moment to go deeper and for you to walk away with a deeper understanding. At the end of the day, you're helping also the whole room, everyone listening, to add an extra layer of insight to the talk. Sometimes we blame the lack of asking a question on nerves. Others, it could be a fear of asking, or a fear of asking something dumb. Or maybe we simply tell ourselves that it's better to follow up privately afterwards. For me, none of this really applied. It wasn't a fear per se. It wasn't a fear of asking or looking dumb. The root cause is just I didn't know how to design a good question on the spot. So to fix this, I built a simple 2-part framework to help. Step 1, capture what makes you react. As you're listening, pay attention to moments that make you go, that's interesting, I didn't expect that. Times where you're getting new information or revelations, anything that sticks with you. And remember that. Those reactions that you're getting are clues that you could use to build off of when it comes to the Q&A. When something stands out, that's really fertile ground for exploration and for questions. So, for example, your question can be, you mentioned X. Could you expand on that a bit? That's a super easy question to keep in your toolkit that you could use time and time again. You're just changing the variable X for whatever that element that you found really interesting was. Alternatively, you could say that part about why really stuck with me. How did you come to that insight? Here again, you're giving the opportunity to the speaker to expand. You show that you were paying attention, and then it opens the door for them to be able to dive in and give you more information. And for the speaker, it's really rewarding because, well, you were being an active listener, and for them, they're able to expand on something that they're passionate about, something that they really care about. So the second type of questions you could ask is when maybe your mind was wandering, you weren't 100% focused, or nothing really stuck out to you as like super interesting, but you do want to engage with the Q&A because you did find it generally interesting and you want to help out the speaker. For example, maybe they're your friend or they're an expert you want to connect with. Whatever the reason may be, sometimes a proper Q&A for expanding on the material doesn't come to you. Well, these were these back pocket questions, like I like to call them. A question you could always use and super versatile in any situation would be. So for example, you could ask, what's one thing you wish more people understood about this topic? Super easy, super versatile, works pretty much at any talk. It's kind of generic, but if you ask it with genuine curiosity, it could pull off really well. Or another question in a similar train of thought, if someone wanted to go deeper after this talk, where should they start? So this is giving the speaker the opportunity to expand on the material they were delivering, to be able to give insights of other materials the audience can explore and can be super beneficial to you, and once again, to everyone listening to your question and to the answer of the speaker. So these back pocket questions are also great for speakers to have on hand as well, if no one in your audience is asking questions during the Q&A. So for example, you could prompt the audience by asking them, if I had more time in my talk, what is the one topic that you would have wanted me to expand more on? This gives the opportunity for the audience to think of, well, maybe what hooked with them, what they found interesting, and hopefully will lead to them to guide you. Maybe they won't give you a question per se. Maybe it'll just be an answer. Oh, part X was part we found most interesting, and you're able to expand on that, which then might lead to a subsequent question and make the Q&A more engaging. It's never fun, a Q&A where the speaker gave a great presentation and that the audience is just dead. There's many reasons for this. Sometimes it can be simply the fact that the speaker was not engaging at all. The content was not aligned with what the audience was expecting. Maybe it was way too technical for a more lay audience. The reasons vary. Sometimes speakers joke around that, oh, I guess I was super clear, which always comes off as an awkward joke and never really connects. There should always be questions that come up, and sometimes it's maybe the audience is just a super shy audience. Depending on the context, maybe it's a huge auditorium and you have to get up to a microphone. It can be intimidating for a lot of people. So it really depends on the context, but creating that connection when there is hesitation in the room for questions, on the speaker's side, with a question like that, what's one topic you would have wished I could expand on? You do have that time to expand on it, so might as well use that opportunity to do so and unlock the potential for the audience to then ask additional questions. I think it's important to remember that asking a good Q&A question isn't about impressing anyone. It's really about creating a moment of shared curiosity where the speaker has the opportunity to go deeper and the audience gains something extra, something that wasn't intended in the original script. And the reality is that most speakers genuinely love Q&As. They want to be asked thoughtful questions, and when I give a talk, it's really annoying when no one asks a question. And often doesn't happen because I really try to make it as engaging as possible, which leads to questions coming up. So when I'm not on stage, when I'm in the audience, well, since I built this two-part framework, this two-part approach, I felt way more confident during Q&As and find myself asking way more questions when other people are hesitating, or if there's material that I really want to expand on. If I could react in the moment, or react on the material that really struck me, or once again, go to my mental back pocket to be able to pull out that generic question that works pretty much every time. So with all this, now you have a way to engage more meaningfully next time you're at a Q&A, whether in the audience or on stage, and not have to endure that awkward silence. So now the Q&A for this video is open. I want to know, what questions do you have for me? Drop your questions in the comment, and I promise to answer all relevant ones that I'm able to answer. And thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.